All right, guys, how's it going? So I've been out on my scooter. I've gone down to the garage. I bought today's football dailies for you here in Spain to see if they're talking about Trent Alexander-Arnold. We've touched on a few things that they've printed recently. So, I'm going down, to get those for you, to check on them. Then I popped up to the cafe, obvs. I went to get a couple of cups of coffee and did a bit of translating, reading things and stuff like that. Now, before we go any further into the video, there's nothing about Trent Alexander-Arnold specifically in any of the Spanish dailies today. There's a couple of things I want to talk to you about, but really, if you haven't got time, you don't need to watch this video. So, now, normally I show you the three Spanish daily newspapers behind me, football newspapers, but today I haven't. And if you're a long-term viewer, you'll know that if there's nothing in them that I need to show you to emphasize something, I like to leave them in the cafe for the workman or the owner. Do you know what I mean? And it's just, I don't know, just why bring them home, show them for 2 seconds and then throw them in the bin? I didn't need them today for you, so I left them there. And just to validate that I'm telling you the truth, there they are. Look, there's today's three papers. Ignore that tortilla there. Don't be telling anyone that. So there's today's papers. But I left them with the owner. He's there in the background. Look, right there in the middle. Can you see him? There he is. Look, can you see the ball on the wall? Minting it. I love Spain, mate. So, and hey, when I was leaving today, like he's always really busy, right? Do you know what I mean? And so I speak to the girls that work there more often than not. But today I spoke to him, and I said when I was leaving, I said, "Oh, there's parity for you. There's the newspapers." And I explained to him because he didn't know. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, every day I get these newspapers, look to see if there's anything to do with Liverpool. And I told him, I said my work is Liverpool Football Club. The website that I do and everything. And he was like, "All right, yeah." And I says to him, I said, "Well, I'm reading at the moment because it's Trent Alexander, and he looked at me like, and he went, and I went, Real Madrid, blah, blah, blah. And he went, no, I can't see that happening. That's what he said. He said, "I can't see that happening." He's an Atletico Madrid fan, he told me. So we had a little natter. And one of the nicest things, I think, about football is no matter where you go in the world, right, if you, as a stranger in a bar on holiday or I don't know, sat on a train with someone or whatever, if you end up speaking to that person, and football comes up, it's like a universal language, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Me and that chap there were talking in Spanglish, so I was speaking a bit of Spanish, him a bit of English, then I was doing English and him Spanish, but we understood what we were trying to communicate. And he was telling me about Atletico Madrid, and he was saying about, we were talking about Real Madrid's defensive problems this season, and maybe Barcelona will get it, whatever. But when I said Trent Alexander-Arnold to Real Madrid, that's what I'm checking the papers for every day. I was going to laugh because I'm going to tell you what he said next. He looked at me like I was like, really? Do you know what I mean? He went, "He's a very, very good player." He said that. He said he's a very, very good player. But anyway. So I said to him, when I explained to him, I said, "Yeah, I'd get the newspapers every day." And then I said to him, I says, "But no entiendo nada. I don't understand anything." When he couldn't stop laughing, he thought it was fucking hilarious. So, I like to leave the newspapers behind for other people. So, like I said, there was things I could have shown you today from today's football dailies here. Which was to do with Liverpool's result yesterday. Obviously, they have an Inglaterra section, English football section. And in two of the three newspapers today, they did quite big spreads. They had a great big picture of Liverpool, a goal being scored yesterday or something, spread over 2 pages, across the centre of the page. Sorry, I got a friend messaging me there. Big Liverpool fan that lives out here. So yeah, there was quite an emphasis on Liverpool, their result at the weekend and how they're doing well and how they're leading. So I just thought, maybe you'd be interested in that, like they are big in Liverpool up over here at the moment. There was an article, quite a big article, I think it was, in Marca, which was talking about Jude Bellingham. And you're probably thinking, well, what's this got to do with us, Dunk? Why do we want to know that? Well, I do think it's kind of relevant in a sense, because one of the things I've said about Trent Alexander-Arnold going to Real Madrid is, their fans are not like our fans. They're not patient. They're not forgiving, really. Do you know what I mean? If he makes some mistakes in a game, like some of the mistakes he makes at Liverpool, they'll be throwing pigs' heads at him and everything. right? It could backfire him going there. And like I say, the news coverage in the last few days here has been about suggestions that Real Madrid regret signing Mbappe. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. And now this one, it was Bellingham crosses his arms. He still hasn't scored this season, whereas last season he already had 10 goals by this time. Ancelotti moved him away from the area to fit in Mbappe, and it's affecting him. This drought is not amusing for the Englishman at all. So, that's my kind of point there, like, because Bellingham's like the golden boy, already like, he's not delivering sort of thing. So, you go to Real Madrid, you have to be world class to go to Real Madrid, I think, usually. Anyway, so I could waffle on about my opinions for Trent all day long. You know what I feel. I'm still not concerned about any of the contract situations at the moment. So nothing in the papers to do with that, to do with Trent Alexander-Arnold specifically, although there was another article to do with Real Madrid. Red alert in defence was the headline, if you like, talking about forthcoming games, and they're saying that how they're really struggling with the defence kind of things. And from memory, what it said in the newspaper, I didn't make a note of it, but I know what it said was that if it wasn't for the goalkeeper, like in the last game, there could have been a really different outcome. Basically, they're saying that the defence is a problem. Red alert in defence. The goalkeeper is the one saving them at the moment. So the reason I think that's important for you to know is then that kind of puts the emphasis on needing to strengthen the defence, right? And the articles that I've been reading to you for a few weeks now, what have they all said? A right back and a centre back, in January. Now, Perez doesn't like to do business in January. He hasn't signed a player in January, I think, in the winter window, maybe for 5 or 6 years or something like that. But going back to a video I did a couple of weeks ago, it said that there'd been that emergency meeting, do you remember, between the manager, the chief executive, the sporting director, and they all agreed that they need defensive reinforcements now, and that was the message they were going to convey to Perez. But everything that you're hearing here in terms of that is that it's the winter. Perez is reluctant. If he's going to do anything in January, it has to be a bargain. It has to make sense. And then you're thinking about Trent, right? You're thinking, well, if he's going to go to them in January, he's going to waive a signing on fee, which he would get in the summer months, right? Because he'd be out of contract. Would Real Madrid be willing to pay some money in January? That has been mooted as that they would be willing to do it. But what would Liverpool want? Would Liverpool even allow it? It sounds like if Real Madrid are going to try something, they will really try it on if they're going to do something in January. But I don't know. There's just part of me that thinks it'll be resolved before then. However, I reserve the right to change that opinion. All right. So don't be looking at this video and coming back to me in 6 months' time going, this video aged well, because that's pathetic. We base our opinions on what we know at the current time, right? So tomorrow it might be completely different. So the articles today out here are all about Real Madrid's well first of all about Bellingham not performing as good as he did last year, and that there's a defensive crisis basically, and they've got the Clásico obviously coming up. Clásico, some people call it Clásico, whatever, at the weekend, and it says here Madrid has many problems in defence. And they think that Barcelona are doing very well. So that was that. And the last thing I was going to mention to you, which I thought was quite funny, because I saw this article about Luis Suarez. I was like, what the fuck? Well, Luis Suarez. Luis Suarez doesn't forgive Zaragoza. He rescues Almeria. A double from the Colombian decides the match, but he didn't celebrate his goals against his old club. So he's playing for Almeria and got a penalty and another goal too. So he basically got the goals against his old club, didn't celebrate, but he's called Luis Suarez. I didn't know there was another Luis Suarez. Do you know what I mean? I was like, what the fuck, when I first saw it. So Another thing that I want to mention in this video is the league table. Segunda Division, no, give me La Liga table, please. You know, people talk about Real Sociedad. Where the fuck is Real Sociedad on there? I can't, there. Oh, hang on a minute, guys. I already know the answer to this, but I just want to get it on the screen. I think the 10th, no, the 11th. Real Sociedad are now 11th in La Liga. There's 20 teams in La Liga. The reason I'm telling you this is some people think that if Real Sociedad continue to struggle because they started the season badly, that he may become available in January. I don't believe that would happen, even if they were rock bottom. I don't think he would jump ship on them mid-season, maybe in the summer, but Real Sociedad are turning things around a little bit, okay? So they were down at the bottom. That was creating all these, you know, Zubimendi regrets, turning down Liverpool, you know. They're now 11th in the league and literally just 1 point, you know, behind 10th and 9th. And just one win, you know, from the top 6, 7 or something. So in terms of points, Valencia, on the other hand, I think they're second from bottom. They are. The reason I mention that is obviously our next goalkeeper is in the sticks for Valencia. So that's about it, really, guys. That's your roundup today. Today's newspapers, Watty got them, my man. All right, I do appreciate that, Watty. Gareth Turner sent something across while I've been out as well, so that will get tomorrow's newspapers. I think he sent £3 over, which helps the channel, you know, and it enables me to do all these extra things for you. So yeah, I think that's your lot, really. So nothing to be, you know, concerned about from the print media. Maybe you wouldn't be concerned anyway. We know that certain papers are the mouthpiece of Real Madrid, but it's still important to know what the fuckers are saying, right? I don't pay too much attention to the other, you know, outlets that you might see from Spain online because they're just more clickbaity and stuff. But yeah, that's it. All right, I feel like I've not done a very good video, so I apologise. I just think there's a lot of things on my mind to do with it all. And yeah, that's it. So I'll sign off. I don't know what my streaming arrangements will be today. I believe I will do a stream at 7 UK tonight. This afternoon, I'm not so sure because it's my boy's day off, as you know, in America, and with 6 hour time difference. So, you know, if it's 3 o'clock here in the afternoon, it's 9 a.m. there. We only get to catch up and you know, with each other on a Sunday and a Monday. So there might not be an afternoon stream, but don't worry if not. If you like the streams, I will definitely be here at 7. Unless something, you know, unless I just start coughing and feel sorry for myself. All right, so that's it. If you appreciate the video, thumbs up the video. If you keep thumbsing up my videos, if you do the nice thing, then I will do the morning briefings for everyone and not just the channel members. It shows that you appreciate the content, you know. And leave a comment if you've got time. I always love to hear what you guys have got to say. And if you want to buy me a coffee, you can hit that super thanks button. That's the love heart under my video, and that keeps me topped up when I go to the cafe for you. I did have some tortilla today. Not bad though. Listen, if you think about it, I had tortilla, right? Let me show you. I know I've shown you once, but it's a good size, girls. You know what I'm saying? So I had that tortilla, right? 2 pieces of bread, 2 of them. I was going to say it in Spanish. 2 of those large coffees, and that big piece of tortilla. It came to €6.60, which I will let her speak because she always interrupts me, this thing in the fucking corner. Alexa, what's €6.60 in pounds sterling?
From currency rate.today. How much is £5.50?
No! Oi! Alexa, stop. You fucking... If you want something doing, do it your fucking self. €6.60 in pounds. I think that was pretty cheap today. £5.50, or maybe she did say it right. But you didn't explain yourself properly. You're a typical woman. You started in reverse. £5.50 for 2 coffees and that big piece of tortilla. I think that's all right, mate, don't you? Imagine what that'd be in London. You know what I'm saying? But I can't have tortilla every day because it's got carbs in it. Can't have bread either, same reason. So, but I just felt a bit sickly this morning. You don't need to know all this, do you? Well, some people around here are my friends. Right, I'm off. Thumbs up. comment, Quaffy, speak to you in a bit. All right.